Hey everybody, Steel here. Check it out. Time for a new body swap. We're going to do this 59 Impala coming up. I know I said we're going to be doing a 61 Impala, but it's like buried behind my shop, and this was easy to get to. We're going to do it anyways, and it's still a serious badass car. So bought this about 9 months ago with the intentions of doing a body swap, obviously. So let's get the motor in there. It's the perfect car for a body swap. No floors, frame's all messed up, rusted through, doesn't run, it's been sitting forever. So there it is, 59 Impala. It is going on this 2011 Chevy Caprice. So again, I buy these for body swaps. I haven't done one yet. This is our first. It's I've done some measuring and calculating, and the wheelbase is a 1/2 inch off. Car is 4 inches narrower overall, so we can put some tire underneath it. The dash is going to be the bitch. So I want to retain the dash in the Impala because it's just like super cool, right? And the dash in this thing as well, not. So I'm going to try to maybe incorporate the gauges out of the dash if I can. I don't know if I have the ability to or not. It looks like there's some soldering and some electronics that's over my head. So anyway, I might just buy some aftermarket gauges and adapt them to this dude if I can. I don't know, that's kind of one of the iffy things. So, like I said, this is my first on a Caprice chassis. I have 4 of them. So hopefully this works out. The 61 is basically the same platform as that, believe it or not. So once we change them, hopefully we'll come across the bugs and stuff, and we can work out these problems together. So today is September the 15th. Tomorrow we're going to start doing it. Excuse me, this stupid earplugs, dude. My damn phone microphone's a POS, so I have to use this stupid headphones. Anyway, so and I went out and bought this stupid thing, which is a waste of friggin' money. So anyway, I'm just trying to work through these YouTube problems. So anyway, back to Caprice. That has 83,000 miles on it. Okay, let me turn this around real quick so you don't have to look at my pretty face anymore. This car's got 83,000 miles on it. It's a cop car. What kind of suspension do you think this thing has on it? It's sick as hell. It handles like a slot car. And it has all the crazy big ass brakes on it. Man, you don't get it much better than a cop car. And this thing's been taken care of. You know they take care of these things like crazy. It was barely hit in the front. It has the cop car version of an LS2, or Caprice version at least. It has a DOD, which means it has displacement on demand, so it kills half the cylinders if you're just cruising along to get gas mileage. However, I'm not too... Well, I do like gas mileage, but I like power better, so we're going to sloppy cam this dude. So the front of it just got... I mean, it is not hardly hit. I could have fixed it, but I bought it for a body swap. So we're going to cut off the cop car stuff, as you can see. And we're going to start trimming it down. I did figure that the rocker panels, I think it can stay as narrow as it is compared to the Impala. And we're going to be able to get rid of these negative wheels, so we can put some tire underneath the Impala, so it'll have some wheels on it, some big, hopefully big tires on it. So in the meantime, a little news flash. Some asshole jumped my fence and stole a bunch of crap off this car. I don't know who's stealing parts off a Caprice, but if I find out who you are, you're a dead man. I don't get it. I mean, so there's like none of these cars around. They only work on this car. So if you're gonna steal it, you're gonna be driving a Caprice. So I don't know. And no one knows I have these cars here. I don't advertise it. So I don't know. It's just kind of a little quandary. I don't get it. They stole stuff. Like they stole the seat. And they stole some stuff under the dash. They stole the air conditioning controls, which really pisses me off because I need them. So yeah, I'm still pissed about that. So anyway, so I'm gonna roll this thing in the shop. I'm gonna put it on the lift. I need to drop the exhaust out of it because my car needs the exhaust system from this car because my cats are bad. That won't need catalytic converters. So I have a Flowmaster exhaust I'm gonna put back on this dude. So anyway, that beautiful biatch is going on that ugly biatch right there. Let's get her done. Bye now. Hey everybody, Steel again. So I'm super psyched on the Caprice build. So I did a whole bunch of calculating tonight to see if we're going to be able to do this or not. And we are way going to be able to do this. It's going to be a really good one. So I'm going to show you my calculating sheet that I do on all the cars I build or do body swaps on, at least. Okay, you have to do your homework. If you don't, you're going to end up, you just don't go out and pull a car out of the back, take grandma's Honda out and start swapping the body over. It don't work like that. Okay, first of all, I only put GM on GM cars. I'm sorry, it's just the way I am. I put Fords on Fords. I put Mopars on Mopars. Blah, blah. Okay? If you got a Studebaker or something like that, yeah, I'll mix them up. Okay? But you won't see a freaking Honda or Lexus in my shop. That's for damn sure. Okay? So, we're going to do this Chevy Caprice, okay, which is going to get a Chevy Impala on it. Okay? So I did a bunch of calculating on it to see if where we're going to end up at when we put it on. Like every car, there's going to be a problem. But this car has far few than most. I am very surprised. So anyway, I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see it. And we can go over what I look for in a body swap. Okay, so here's my sheet that I do a little drawing on, and I make measurements on both cars so I can verify that it's going to work. So here is a basic drawing. We use a center line of the front axle to measure front and back and kind of get an idea of where we're at for both cars. The engine, okay, let's see the frame. Let's start over here. The frame is the same, 25-25 both cars, so no big deal. The engine sits forward in the, so real quick, the highlighted areas are the Caprice and the non-highlighted areas are the Impala. So the engine sits forward 2.5 inches of the Impala. Not a big deal. We're going to run a radiator electric fan, so it's not an issue at all. And then the of course the engine that was in the Impala has further accessories on it, so it won't make a big difference. So that's easy enough. Let's go here. The windshield. So the windshield curvature, okay, right here. See this curvature right here? A lot of times it's way forward on the newer cars, so than the older cars. So what it does is it pushes the wipers way out here in front. But they need to be back here because, of course, this car is 8 inches out further than what the Impala is. So it creates a problem of where the wipers are going to sit. Plus, the hood will be back into this area by the time we have the body put on there. So moving the wipers back is always an issue. Almost every car we do, the wipers are a pain in the ass. So this car may not get wipers. Sorry. The flanking, the Ford unibody that we put on the Lincoln Aviator, it took me a while to get that stuff figured out, but finally did. But I don't want to postpone this build like I had to do with that one to make that stuff work. So we have the dash width on here. You can see is much smaller on the Caprice as it is the Impala by a good 8 inches. Okay, so the dash would fit in there with no problem. We have a gap on both sides, by the way, I have to fill in. Down here, this is the area below the dash. This is an important area because this is where the pillar comes up that the hinge is attached to. So it's 60 and then 61 and a half. So it's going to be close getting that, putting that the body over top of where the hinges were on the Caprice. So going back, we have the pinch well, which is where the floor meets the rockers. On the Impala, there's no real pinch well, but where it would be is 60 on the Caprice and 70 on the Impala. So we have a good 10 inches or 5 inches on both sides of width we can play with. The best one about this whole deal is this whole swap is the pinch well or the outer of the rockers. It's a full-on 69 inches. So the pinch well on the Impala is 70. So when we cut this off, it'll fit right on top of the rockers on the outside of the Caprice. So we can keep all the strength of the rockers and integrate that into the Impala body when we sit over top there, because the Impala rockers are history. And we can just fortify the inside of the rockers and then put new rockers on the fortify the inner rockers to meet the Caprice rockers, and then put new outer rockers on the Impala to, finish off the bodywork. The rear seat brace across the back isn't a real big deal. Of course, it's 119 versus 108. They do that because, of course, the Caprice is a 4-door and the Impala is a 2-door. Plus, the Caprice are giving a lot more floor room. So we're going to lose a little floor room in the back to the Impala, but not a lot. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal. We can still push the seat back some from the Impala into the Caprice chassis, so we can work that out. Maybe split that in half. The steering wheel position is 5 inches forward on the Caprice than it is on the Impala, so it's much easier to make the steering wheel come back than it is to push it forward. So we can take care of that without a whole lot of issue. And then the edge of the dash. This is kind of a big one because we want to retain the original Impala dash and lose the ugly ass Caprice padded dash. So we can remove the dash pad, and then we still have room underneath behind the Impala dash to redo the duct work to integrate it into the Impala dash. It'll give us plenty of room. The big one, the rockers is a real big one, and the engine position. So on this type of body swap, when we're going to use the air conditioning and all the firewall, there's of course nowhere to move the engine. And this car, the engine sits in a nice position compared to a lot of cars we do, and then so we can do the swap without having any issue with the engine. Of course, this car has struts in the front, and the Impala did not, but that really makes no difference because it's just going to be a matter of the way we attach the fenders to the inner aprons on the front. So that's not a big deal either. So anyways, there's a lot of things on this thing that are good, very little that are bad. We're going to go ahead and finish disassembling the Caprice tomorrow, and start cutting up the Caprice. I want to cut the glass out of it because I need it for maybe my car in the future or other cars. It's very, very expensive because it's hard to get. It's a one only type glass, and you have to get it from Australia, so it's a pain in the ass. So I'm going to be saving the glass out of it. and then we're going to start cutting. And when we start cutting, it won't take a whole long because there's not a lot we have to cut off, really, to do the first drop. And then we'll pull the Caprice out of the way and pull the Impala in and trim the floor out of the Impala and the firewall, and then do the first installation. So hopefully we should see the body on the Caprice by, I would say, Wednesday or Thursday, hopefully. Um, anyway, this is going to bring me into this pre-production video of the 59 Impala on top of the 2011 Caprice platform. I know this is a boring video, but if you're going to do this kind of work, or if you're going to use a Caprice or an Impala, this kind of gives you an idea of what to look for when you're going to do a body swap. Anyway, this is going to be a really, really, really cool one, so stay tuned. Do me a favor and subscribe so you can kind of keep track of what's going on, and like it, and I would keep these swaps going, and y'all can have some fun watching them. Anyway, give me a question if you need one. If you have it, I'm happy to answer any questions. You know what? Real quick, there's been a couple people asking kind of why I don't restore the cars. And if you'll notice, the cars that I do these body swaps with, they are rusted out badly. I only get rusted cars out normally to do the body swaps. I don't just take any nice car that's usually a restorable car. This car the floor is gone. So by the time you buy, a $1,500 floor, or wait for it to get built, then get it finally, and then fix the rockers and everything else that goes along with it, it doesn't make sense to restore this car, to me at least. There's a lot out there that are restored, and there's a lot that are hot rodded, but if you're gonna hot rod one, this is the way to do it. I mean, this Caprice chassis has hundreds and hundreds of hours of engineering in it, and we're going to take all that engineering that GM paid for and put it into that Impala, all in one fell swoop. We're not going to have a Mustang 2 front end and a 9-inch rear end and a this and then that and this and the brakes from here and the steering column from there. No, this is all comes from one package, so everything works together, and it's just like having a car that you'd buy off a showroom floor. It would have everything that was meant to be on that car is going to be on that car, minus a couple small things that we just can't do, maybe gauges. Other than that, seats, everything should be what was meant to go in here. We're probably going to use the Impala rear seats, and we're going to use the Caprice front seats. So anyway, here we go. Let's get her done. Bye now.